ego is demonstrated in two ways. So ego is either I am the best in the world and I think I'm better than everyone, or ego says you're the worst in the world, you're the worst than everyone, you're much worse than everyone. Or you say my life is the best and the greatest, my life is the worst, right? My life is far worse than anyone else. So the ego likes to push you to the extreme. It doesn't like to give you balance and honesty and reality. It wants to make you feel like you've got the worst life in the world and no one else understands it, no one gets that, only you get it and you get the worst. Or you're the best and no one else gets you, you're untouchable. And people miss that. They're like, how does that make sense? Exactly like you said. But it does make sense because the ego wants to be the top or the bottom, but the top of the bottom. And so we get lost in that and we don't think of it as ego. Yeah. And that's why the only antidote to either ego is self-honesty, is being honest. And honesty is, I'm good at these things, I'm great at these things, and I suck at these things, right? Like that's honesty. Like could sit down with a list of our skills and map out what we were great at, what we were average at, and what we knew we were terrible at. And that's honesty. That keeps you so away from either ego. The challenge with all self-centeredness is that all you then indulge yourself in is your own pain, right? You just indulge, you just submerge and like immerse yourself in pain because it's all about you. And you know, I think Gandhi said it best, is that you find yourself when you lose yourself in the service of others. And what I love about that statement is that what he means by that is, and empaths get this mixed up sometimes, so I want to clarify, because a lot of people who are empaths who are listening are like, Jay, I'm always trying to help people, but then I get screwed over. So here's the answer. You're not helping people so that they can thank you. You're not helping people so that they can be grateful to you. You're helping people because you know it's the right thing to do, but more importantly, you're helping people because you get to understand and experiment and experience different parts of yourself. When I helped kids growing up in India that didn't have food and we were giving them free food, I learned so much about myself. When I was able to go and give talks that help people, or now I make videos or podcasts, you learn more about yourself when you help people. You don't learn anything about yourself when you're just sitting there filling out a quiz going, who am I? What am I? Like you don't figure, but you learn about yourself when you help people. And this is what we don't realize. I can't remember who said it recently. It was someone saying about Jeff Bezos, but they were saying that, you know, the scale at which you succeed is the depth of the problem you solve. And so even if you look at someone like Jeff Bezos, who's extremely successful, he's successful because he solved a problem that many people have. Bill Gates is successful because he solved a problem. So even if you look at monetary success, even if you look at financial success, it comes from service. A musician is famous because they're serving. They're serving you by understanding your feelings, making music. You now feel comforted, so you follow them. They have served you. Wow. So don't think of service as just charity and giving money, which are beautiful things, which we all should do. But don't just limit your life to thinking, I serve on the weekends, or I serve once a year. So let's take that salesperson. Okay. The more time that person spends in empathy, their customer's pain, and what the customer is really looking for, the better they're going to be received. Yes. So that service mindset always helps, because if you're thinking about, and this is what it comes, and I said this to my team when we were writing the book and everything I was working on, I said, if I sit here right now and all I'm thinking about while I'm writing the book is being a best-selling book, then guess what? I'm now not writing the book. I'm now living in the future and I'm not living in the present. And so the only way to make this a best-selling book is to do the process properly. And I don't think, and this is what I do, and this is the only thing that's helping me, and again, I go through it all the time. After my first video went viral 3-4 years ago, I stopped creating because of the pressure that I wouldn't be able to live up to it. So I actually got scared because I was like, oh well, what if the next video doesn't do as well? Everyone's gonna think I'm tanking. Like, you get into that self-doubt and I got into that space where I didn't want to make a video again because I was like, this video just got 40 million views, like how am I ever gonna beat that, right? And you get scared. I was like, I'm not putting anything out, I'm just gonna stop. And then I started to realize, like, now I'm not living in service anymore. I'm living out of ego and I'm living for feeling a certain way. And guess what, I'm not feeling better by not putting anything out. And actually, if I just serve more, I'll learn more. So the way I've made sense of it and there's a verse in the Gita that explains it too, is that you have full control over the preparation, the process, and the practice. But you have no control over the potential result. But all of those three things are the result in and of themselves. And so if you get addicted to the process of writing, the practice of connecting with the right people who can help share your work, and yet, like you said, I am focused on the process of making sure that the most people in the world have the opportunity to buy this book. But then if they choose not to buy it, I can't control that. But I can control making sure that it's in front of everyone and that I believe in the content. And that to me is not attachment, that to me is not ego, that to me is trying to live your best life. Yes. I mean, like, you know, if you didn't just try, if you're like, I wrote this book, but who cares?
Yes.
I mean, that's not service either. Because the way I explain it, and I'm not claiming that this is it, and I'm not trying to say I'm it, I'm trying to say that I think we all feel this way. If you or me see an amazing movie, we want to tell everyone about it. If you read an amazing book, you want to tell everyone about it. If you found the cure to cancer, you tell everyone about it. For me, I got to live an incredible life thanks to these amazing teachers I met. I just want to tell everyone about it. Like, that's all I'm doing.
Yes.
But I want to tell everyone because of how powerful it is. Here are 3 signs you're struggling with a lack of purpose. Number 1, you feel pressure to know what you want to do with your life. Number 2, you've lost interest in your own life and feel disconnected. Number 3, you don't know what your skills are, or you feel you lack them. Hope is not lost. You can get through this. Having purpose and meaning in our lives helps guide us through the ups and downs and create structure in our day-to-day life.